The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
Complete strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones financial advisor, Lee Colvin. Joining us this morning from Eagleville, Davy McClaran, the head coach of the Eagles, and made that long trek down to Huntland last night and made it back in one piece and a big win. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it was a good trip, but it was a long trip last night.
How many of your trips aren't long trips, I guess, is the real question.
That's true. All of our district games are roughly an hour, and Huntland's an hour and a half away. So we've been some road warriors this year. We've been on the road quite a bit.
Well, off to a fine start. What I found was 16-2. Is that close to the record here?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Well, state ranked. You've really battled some teams, Coach, that are kind of right there in that same boat with you all, and you've gotten some recognition around the state. It's not the first time that Eagleville has had that, but I'm certain that there's kind of, kind of a thin line that you have to travel as a coach. Not too pumped up. Do you put any stock in any of that stuff, or kind of how do you handle that?
Well, I think every year you go in with expectations of being one of the top teams. So I think that's always one of our goals is to be at a place where we can compete at a state level. I think our scheduling this year was definitely going to test us to see if we're worthy of any of that recognition. And we've played Pickett County, who's a top 10 team, and Richland and Santa Fe, and we've gone out and played, Loretta, who's number one in AA, and we've played bigger schools. So these young men, they've been put to the test, and you would like to think that there is some stock in our work that we've put in so far, and they're 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, so anything can happen at any time, but as far as where we're at right now, I feel like we're one of the top teams in the state.
Well, John and I had some conversation on and off the air. We kind of talked a little bit about your sectional game last year, and Frank Hughes getting to the championship game and all of those kinds of things. I mean, that's something for these guys that probably has to stick in their mind just a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, obviously there's a couple of things that you can look at from that. One, we missed a great opportunity. We were in control of that game, and I think our inexperience and our youth at that point in time showed they had already been in the sub-state for a couple of years, and so they had some narrow misses as well, and they were a little more comfortable in that game, I think, than we were. And then, we bring back all of our pieces, and I feel like, we still have a chip on our shoulder and want to get back to that to prove that we have put in work to get to that next step. It's not going to be an easy one. We have 2 top 10 teams in our region, so it will be a very difficult test to just get to the sub-state, but we're very capable, and they're working really hard. So I do think that stays in the back of our head.
We're talking with Davy McClaran this morning, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles. Winners last night, 70-26 over Huntland, and 16-2. Kind of walk us through what you did during the holiday period, and then we're going to talk a little bit about district play coming up. But what did you all do during that time?
Yes, sir. We went down to Loretta, Tennessee, and played in their Christmas Classic, and we played 3 games there. First game we played Lincoln County, who's a 4A school, and got a win. They're not what I would say a strong 4A school, but they are a 4A school, and so anytime you get a win, they're much bigger than we are. So it was a good win. We played very well. Turned around and played Marshall County High School, which is a 3A school, and they're very athletic, and their athleticism was really challenging for us. They're fast, and they had some good size, and we ended up winning that game in overtime, which was a really good test for us. And then we went and played Loretta in the championship of that, and we got our feelings hurt in that game. They came out. Loretta's right now number 1 ranked team in AA. They've got great size. They're well coached, and first quarter we just I'm not sure if it was routine, Christmas break, we survived, dodged a bullet against Marshall County and won, and we're feeling good about ourselves. But it was a much needed wake up call for us, because it showed us that if we don't show up, that we can lose real quick. And we played even with them after the first quarter, and I was proud of our guys because we didn't quit. But that first quarter was very humbling for us. And so, and again, Loretta's a very, very well coached, very athletic team with good size. But we didn't give our best. We didn't show up. So, that's been like I said just a minute ago, that was a good humbling experience for us. The guys were disappointed in their effort, and so that was our Christmas break. And then we right after that, still not back in school, we traveled about 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes down to Pickett County, and they're a top 10 team, and they just don't lose in their gym. And we picked up just a really, really, really good win for us. We won 74-71. They turned around and beat Cookeville the next night at Cookeville. So they're playing really good. So sometimes you don't know how well you're playing until that team turns around that you just beat and beats another quality team.
Yeah, and that team may not have reacted in that game had they not had that pre-Christmas Loretto game. I mean, it's weird how it puts together, isn't it?
It really is, and Loretta's hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours away. Pickett County's 2.5 hours away. We've been traveling, from north of Tennessee to the south of Tennessee. We've been all over the place, and these guys have just represented their school and their families and their teammates, very well, and just really proud of their effort so far.
Davy McClaran joining us here this morning as we talk Eagleville basketball. And, Coach, I did want to mention some of your players who've had some outstanding games. On Tuesday night, Camden Cole poured in 23 for you in the win over Richland, which was a nice win. And he was perfect from the free throw line, if I understand right, 13 of 13, which
yes,
the coach loves that.
Yeah, absolutely. Camden's been getting to the free throw line quite frequently. The last time we played Richland, he was 9 of 9. So he's he scored his 1,000th point as a junior. So Camden's really hitting, coming into his stride right now, like we expected him to, and he's playing very well right now. And not only did he put in points, but he's really growing in the area of getting all of his teammates involved, because he gets a lot of attention on the floor. So very happy with his progress. But he put us on his back there in that game in certain stretches that helped us extend the lead against a very good Richland team.
Gray Barker had 13 in that game, and Jackson Nichols with 9 in that one. Going back to Tuesday the 7th, your leading scorer was your son Owen, 17 points in the 78-53 win over Summertown. Camden had 16, and Gray Barker with 12 in that. And last night down at Huntland, Owen had 10 points, and read a really nice article about it, and it's the second time you've gotten to coach a son through the program, and I know that that's got to be really, really special.
It is. There's two different types of players who understand. One understood his role on the team he played on, and Owen understands his role, and just pleased with their acceptance of roles, and Owens worked real hard along with all the. There's a bunch of Owens on our team. We have a bunch of kids that are putting in just a tremendous amount of work outside of practice to get to where we're at. And so, sometimes it's rewarding, sometimes it's not rewarding coaching your own son. So it's a challenge all within itself, but just proud of him and his teammates. They all, I don't really think any of them care who gets the recognition. I would like to say, we have two seniors that really are getting a lot of playing time, and their names need to be mentioned for sure. Gray Barker is just he's having a phenomenal season. He's been asked to play 2 or 3 different roles on the team, from a 3, from a small forward to a post center, and he is just an image of consistency. Rebounding and scoring just every night, and he's one that probably could put up 20 points on a lot of teams every night. But that's the strength of this team. We probably have 3 or 4 kids that can, if it was a different circumstance and they didn't have the teammates that they have surrounding them, they would be 20, 25 point scorers every night. But these guys, there's a lot of weapons on this team, and so they share the ball. We have somewhere around 4 scores in double digits almost every night, and they're not always the same 4. So, and then Brady Burns, he's been on and off as a starter all 4 years of his career, and he's the role model of what image of what a role player you would want on your team, from starting to coming off the bench, and you can't tell the difference in his energy or his focus. So I'm really proud of our seniors. That trickles down to all the other players on the team, and when you have 2 seniors that are accepting of their roles, nobody else can really, kind of bicker about it.
Yeah.
They just follow.
Davey, you have been on the road for a long, long time, but you're going to be rewarded here now here at the end of the regular season a bit. You've got Fayetteville at home, Rockvale. You do go to Moore County, then Cascade, Huntland, and then at Fayetteville again to wrap up district play. But you've got several home games here, so it's time to pack the house and get in and support the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to feel weird playing at home so much and not getting on the bus.
Yeah.
We're excited. You have to protect your home court, but we're excited about getting to play in front of all of our fans, and we've had just a great following to all of our games. I just really want to take this moment to thank all of our fans for getting out on the road and traveling. We travel well, and we're always represented well in the stands. So we have a good following. We have a good a crowd base, and sometimes we're on the road, but we have a home game on the road sometimes. But it will be really nice to have a little stretch here where we get to play at home.
Well, Davey, good luck here, and we'll catch up in a couple of weeks, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Always fun to talk to Davy McClaran on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Lascassas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and we are back on the Coaches Show, which is...
You've probably heard it a million times. If you're injured, call a lawyer. And you probably haven't, because you don't know how much it will cost, how long it will take, or even if you have a case. At the law offices of John Day, we provide a free initial consultation.